Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt a profound, lingering sense of frustration, a disheartening feeling that your own body, your lifelong companion, is no longer on your team, but is instead actively working against you? This experience is a silent, creeping reality for millions of people as they navigate life beyond their fifth or sixth decade. You are diligently, consciously, and perhaps even meticulously eating protein every single day. Your mornings might begin with the classic scrambled eggs, a food long hailed as a nutritional cornerstone, or your evenings might conclude with a carefully prepared portion of chicken breast or fish, all in the noble pursuit of maintaining your strength and vitality. Yet, despite this dedicated effort, the mirror and the way your body feels tell a different, more discouraging story. You are still losing precious muscle mass, a condition known as sarcopenia, which manifests as a persistent bone-deep weakness. You may notice that your energy levels no longer possess the resilience they once had, failing to bounce back after a simple walk or a few hours of light gardening. The temptation is to surrender to a narrative of inevitability, to chalk it all up to the relentless march of age, a natural decline that you are simply supposed to accept with grace. But what if this narrative is fundamentally flawed? What if the very healthy foods you have been taught to rely on are, in a cruel twist of irony, an integral part of the problem? There is a shocking truth hiding in plain sight, a powerful secret held within the humble shell of one tiny, unassuming nut that is quietly and decisively outperforming the long-revered egg in terms of pure, usable protein density and its overall metabolic impact. A vast and growing number of seniors are only now beginning to awaken to its incredible, almost miraculous power to reclaim lost strength, restore flagging vitality, and essentially turn back the clock on muscular aging. This revelation is not merely about the quantity of protein you consume. It delves into a concept that is far more critical and far less understood: bioavailability. This is the intricate and fascinating science of how your body actually digests, absorbs, utilizes, and ultimately converts the protein you eat into real, functional, and resilient muscle tissue, a process that becomes dramatically less efficient after you pass the age of 60. Getting this fundamental principle wrong is, without a doubt, the single biggest reason most well-intentioned people fail to stay strong, mobile, and independent as they age. And understanding this one simple, almost effortless food swap could be the definitive key to rewriting your body's future and reclaiming the strong, energetic person you still feel you are inside. The protein paradox: why eating more isn't making you stronger. For millions of individuals navigating the years beyond the age of 60, there exists a baffling and deeply discouraging experience that can only be described as the protein paradox. You are consciously and deliberately adding more protein to your diet, whether it is through lean meats like fish, dairy products such as Greek yogurt, or even a daily, specially formulated protein shake. Yet the tangible results you desperately seek remain stubbornly out of reach. Your legs feel less steady and reliable, your sense of balance seems to have subtly but noticeably diminished, and the process of recovering from simple physical activities like a brisk walk around the block or a pleasant afternoon tending to your garden takes significantly longer and requires more rest than ever before. The root cause of this frustrating disconnect is not a lack of effort or a failure of willpower. It is a fundamental, age-related biological shift that alters the very chemistry of your muscles. After the age of 50 and accelerating with each subsequent decade, our bodies begin to experience a marked decline in what scientists and endocrinologists refer to as anabolic sensitivity. In simpler, more practical terms, your muscles become progressively more resistant to the very hormonal and nutritional signals that command them to grow, repair, and strengthen. In a younger person, a modest intake of just 20 grams of high-quality protein can be more than sufficient to powerfully kickstart muscle protein synthesis, the elegant and essential biological process of weaving amino acids into new muscle fibers. However, as we age, our muscle cells effectively become hard of hearing. You can be shouting at them with ever-increasing amounts of protein, but they barely register the message. It is akin to trying to start a car with a rapidly dying battery. You can turn the key in the ignition repeatedly, hearing a faint, pathetic click, but the engine simply will not catch and roar to life, no matter how persistent you are. This maddening resistance is driven by a powerful and compounding trio of underlying physiological causes that many older adults face simultaneously. Firstly, a significant portion of the population over 60 produces substantially less stomach acid or hydrochloric acid, which is the absolutely essential first step in protein digestion. Without a sufficient acidic environment in the stomach, you cannot properly denature or unfold protein molecules to allow digestive enzymes to cleave them into their constituent amino acids, meaning a large portion of the protein you eat passes through you without ever being fully utilized. Secondly, the prevalence of insulin resistance increases dramatically with age. While we often associate the hormone insulin primarily with blood sugar management, it also plays a crucial role as a key, unlocking the doors to your muscle cells to allow amino acids to enter and be used for repair. When your cells become resistant to insulin signal, those precious building blocks are effectively left stranded in the bloodstream, unable to get to the construction site where they are needed most. Finally, the pervasive issues of chronic low-grade inflammation and consistently elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol act as a relentless demolition crew for your existing muscle tissue. Cortisol actively signals the body to break down muscle for a quick source of energy, a process known as catabolism, which creates a metabolic state that directly counteracts and undermines all of your diligent efforts to build strength. This is precisely why the simplistic advice to just eat more protein is a deeply flawed and often counterproductive strategy. Imagine your body's muscle building system as a major construction project. You can have dozens of truckloads of high-quality bricks, protein delivered to the site, but if the crane operator, your anabolic hormones, the construction site manager, insulin sensitivity, and the unloading crew, your digestive system, are all on strike or functioning poorly, absolutely nothing gets built. The valuable materials just sit there, unused, or worse, are hauled away and stored elsewhere in the body as fat. What older adults truly need is not just more protein, but smarter protein, sources that are exceptionally easy to digest, incredibly rich in the most potent muscle-building amino acids, and crucially, packed with synergistic anti-inflammatory compounds and minerals that get the entire construction crew working in perfect harmony again. Re-evaluating the gold standard. Are eggs really the best choice after 60? For many decades, eggs have been ubiquitously championed as the undisputed gold standard of dietary protein, often celebrated by nutritionists and fitness experts alike as a perfect food for building a strong, healthy body. And to be perfectly fair, this reputation is not entirely unearned. They are a complete protein source, meaning they contain all 9 of the essential amino acids that our bodies cannot synthesize on their own and must obtain from our diet. On paper, their nutritional profile appears impeccable. However, the critical distinction that is often overlooked is that what looks perfect in a textbook or on a nutrition label does not always translate to perfect or even optimal results within the complex and changing physiology of the human body, especially a body that has journeyed beyond 60 years of life. For any older adult who is actively struggling with the debilitating effects of muscle loss, weakness, and fatigue, it is absolutely imperative to look beyond the surface level numbers and to critically examine how their body actually interacts with this ubiquitous breakfast food. A single large egg offers a respectable 6 to 7 grams of protein, but the most critical factor for overcoming age-related muscle decline and actually triggering new growth is not the total protein count, but the concentration of a specific powerful amino acid called leucine. Leucine acts as the primary anabolic trigger, the spark plug that ignites the entire muscle-building engine, a pathway known to scientists as mTOR. While eggs certainly contain leucine, they are not particularly dense in it relative to their total volume and calorie content. To consume enough leucine to surpass the higher anabolic threshold required in an older adult, a dose that researchers suggest is around 2.5 to 3 grams per meal, an individual might need to eat 3, 4, or even 5 whole eggs in a single sitting. This is where the seemingly simple plan begins to unravel and reveal its metabolic downsides. Consuming that large quantity of eggs, especially when paired with common breakfast accompaniments like toast, hash browns, or a glass of orange juice, can provoke a significant and rapid insulin spike. In a body that is already struggling with some degree of insulin resistance, this powerful hormonal surge is far more likely to signal the body to store energy as fat rather than to shuttle amino acids into muscle cells for growth, thereby working directly against your primary objective. Think of your muscle cells like a sponge. In your youth, the sponge is dry, porous, and ready to eagerly absorb every last drop of nutrients it is exposed to. But as you age, that same sponge becomes perpetually damp, less absorbent, and somewhat waterlogged. You now require a much more concentrated, powerful, and targeted stream of nutrients to get it to soak up anything new. In this analogy, eggs provide a gentle, dispersed sprinkle of nutrition, but what your aging muscles truly need to respond is a focused, high-pressure jet stream of specific anabolic triggers. Furthermore, eggs are conspicuously lacking in the synergistic cofactors that are known to enhance protein absorption and utilization. They contain virtually no dietary fiber, which is essential for slowing digestion, managing the glycemic response of a meal, and promoting a healthy gut microbiome. Moreover, unless the eggs are sourced from pasture-raised chickens that have foraged on a natural diet, they can be disproportionately high in pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, which can subtly worsen the very state of chronic low-grade inflammation that contributes to anabolic resistance and muscle breakdown in the first place. Therefore, while high-quality eggs can certainly be a component of a varied and healthy diet, they are simply not the most effective or strategic tool for an individual whose primary mission is to halt and reverse age-related muscle loss and rebuild functional, life-enhancing strength. You require a superior source that not only delivers a payload of high-quality protein, but also actively helps to fix the underlying systemic problems of poor digestion, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation that are holding you back. The humble powerhouse, unveiling the seed that rebuilds muscle. So, what is this remarkably overlooked food, this nutritional giant hiding in plain sight, that quietly and consistently outperforms the venerable egg for seniors who are on a mission to rebuild their physical strength and reclaim their independence? It is not an exotic supplement sourced from a remote jungle, nor is it an expensive, scientifically engineered powder with a long list of unpronounceable ingredients. It is the humble yet incredibly potent pumpkin seed, also known by its culinary name, the pepita. At first glance, it might seem utterly unbelievable, perhaps even absurd, that this tiny, flat green seed could possibly pack a bigger and more effective nutritional punch than a whole egg, an established symbol of protein power. But when you move beyond ingrained assumptions and meticulously dissect the comprehensive nutritional profile, the specific amino acid breakdown, and the overall metabolic and hormonal effect it has on an aging body, the pumpkin seed emerges as the clear and undeniable winner in this critical comparison. Let us examine the objective facts. A single 28-gram serving of raw pumpkin seeds, which equates to roughly 2 heaping tablespoons, delivers a staggering 7 grams of high-quality plant-based protein, a quantity that already surpasses the protein content of 1 large egg. But the true superiority of pumpkin seeds extends far beyond that single extra gram of protein. The protein contained within these seeds is significantly denser in the all-important branched-chain amino acid, leucine, providing a much more powerful and unambiguous signal to your resistant muscle cells to initiate the rebuilding process. More importantly, and this is the crucial element, pumpkin seeds come loaded with a synergistic team of metabolic cofactors that eggs simply do not possess. They are a phenomenal source of magnesium, with a single serving providing over 40% of the recommended daily intake. Magnesium is an essential mineral that has been called the master mineral for its role in over 300 critical biochemical reactions within the body, including directly improving insulin sensitivity, facilitating the production of cellular energy in the form of ATP, and aiding in muscle relaxation and recovery. They are also exceptionally rich in zinc, another vital mineral that is crucial for maintaining a robust immune system, and critically for this discussion, for supporting the body's natural production of key anabolic hormones like testosterone, which is essential for maintaining muscle mass in both men and women as they age. The combination of healthy fats and abundant fiber found in pumpkin seeds works in perfect concert to slow down the absorption of glucose from your meal into the bloodstream, effectively preventing the sharp, damaging insulin spikes that can lead to increased fat storage and hormonal imbalance. In essence, pumpkin seeds do not just provide the raw building blocks for muscle. They simultaneously help to repair the entire dysfunctional construction site. To revisit our earlier analogy, if protein represents the groceries you buy and insulin is the key to your muscle's front door, then the abundant magnesium found in pumpkin seeds acts as the expert locksmith who fine-tunes the lock and makes the key work far more effectively, ensuring all of those precious groceries get inside where they belong, ready to be used. A simple daily protocol for reclaiming your strength. Integrating this undisputed nutritional powerhouse into your daily routine is a remarkably simple, delicious, and incredibly effective process that requires no drastic overhaul of your entire diet or lifestyle. This strategy is not about deprivation or complex meal planning. It is about the simple, strategic addition of approximately 2 tablespoons of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds each day to make a significant and measurable impact on your health. The goal is to begin viewing them as a functional food, a daily dose of medicine that actively supports your muscles, balances your hormones, and fine-tunes your metabolism throughout the day. It is critically important to shed any lingering fear of fat, as the fats found in pumpkin seeds are not your enemy. These are primarily monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which are profoundly anti-inflammatory, help to slow down digestion, contribute to a lasting feeling of fullness and satisfaction, and play a key role in stabilizing your blood sugar levels, which is a cornerstone of reducing unhealthy cravings and managing your weight effectively. For a powerful morning metabolic boost that sets a positive tone for the entire day, consider blending 1 or 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds directly into a morning smoothie, or sprinkling them generously over a bowl of full-fat Greek yogurt. For an even greater effect, add a dash of cinnamon to the yogurt, as cinnamon has been shown in numerous studies to further help regulate your insulin response, creating a potent, muscle-friendly combination to start your day. As a pre-workout power snack, consuming a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds about 30 minutes before engaging in light resistance training, a brisk walk, or a session of yoga can be highly beneficial. The readily available amino acids coupled with the essential mineral magnesium will help to support your physical performance and will kickstart the muscle repair and synthesis process immediately following your activity. You can also creatively use them to add a delightful and satisfying crunch to your main meals at lunch or dinner. Toss them liberally over a fresh salad along with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. The healthy fats from the oil and the seeds will work synergistically to dramatically improve your body's absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins, such as vitamins A, D, E, and K, from the leafy greens and other vegetables in your salad. By consistently and consciously incorporating this small, simple daily habit, you are providing your body with so much more than just a source of protein. You are delivering a complex, synergistic blend of powerful nutrients that actively combats insulin resistance, works to lower chronic inflammation, supports the healthy production of anabolic hormones, and gives your aging muscles the high-quality, easily utilized building blocks they so desperately need to grow strong, resilient, and fully functional once again, empowering you to live your later years with the strength and vitality you deserve.